Yeah, so this is a little bit of a test video here. You might be wondering, why would I take a perfectly good Thinket handle and just start pounding on it? Well, that's a very good question, and I hope to be able to illuminate you as to why I'm doing this very shortly. In the meantime, I will say, as long as I don't hit any of my fingers, that it's a very satisfying way to get out my aggressions on metal art. Seriously, I believe they call this peening. I'm sort of facet polishing this surface, and I really like the end effect that I get. It takes a little while for each one. I've got a bunch of these Thinket Handle-Shells to do, to peen, and this is all pre-plating work. I'm trying to introduce some really cool variety into the surface profile, and also some nice little shiny facets. It looks like I'm just beating it up, which I am, but I'm beating it up with a purpose. There's a method to the madness. My plan, I have a limited number of these handles left. I'm going to peen all of them. The idea is to, after this part of the process is completed, I'm going to send them in to be plated with 24 karat gold and rhodium. Two different sets of these handles. I have a total about 65 of them, and these are going to be some of the more high-end Thinket Now shaped handles that I will have done since the Kickstarter project first launched in 2018. That's my most recent Thinket 3.0 Kickstarter project. Anyway, I've been wanting to do something very special with the remaining handles from the various production runs during this past, it's been a little over 5 years now since I first launched that project. And of course, I finished fulfilling the project the same year, 2018. And right now I'm in a transition between Thinket 3.0, which was the Thinket Now project in 2015, and one that I've been planning for many years, for much longer than that, pretty much since I was in the middle of my the Thinket 2 project in 2015. I had conceived of modifications, evolutions that the Thinket would need to go through, but I had a number of different steps, still have not as many steps to go through to achieve the developments for my next Thinket Kickstarter project, or I should say next Thinket crowdfunding project, because I don't know if I will be doing it on Kickstarter or on some other platform. More than likely it will be Kickstarter, but that project, which has been in the making for on or about 8 years now, will be called Deep Thinket. And some of you may have heard of Deep Thinket. Maybe some of you thought it was merely a myth, an ancient legend, a rumor. But no, it's been in the back of my mind this whole time, and in the forefront of my mind this whole time. And it's going to represent a significant form factor change, initially in terms of the way Thinket handles are made. A very significant change in form factor. I've already started selling some prototype versions of the newer form factors that are going to be coming with the Gen 4.0 Deep Thinket project whenever it launches and gets done. It's still a ways away, but it's getting a lot closer because I've made a lot of progress in very important areas for the Thinket to make it to that Thinket or Deep Thinket Kickstarter project, Thinket 4.0. Anyway, up until now, all of the Thinket handles since the beginning, since the first project, Kickstarter project called the Thinket, that was Gen 1.0, and the second project, the Thinket 2, TOO, and then the Thinket Now, which is the phase that I'm culminating now during this transition period. That entire time, there have been certain things I've wanted to achieve that are not possible with the preformed metal handles, pre-machined metal handle profiles that I've been doing since the beginning. And I've known that for quite some time, but that form factor, this form factor, the machine handle that gets an apparatus inserted into it, and it has various surface profile shapes. It has its limitations, but it's also served its purpose. It's established a presence for the Thinket, and it's given me a lot of ideas for how to continue evolving the entire Thinket concept so that it becomes more and more advanced and user-friendly over time. This transition between the Thinket Now and Deep Thinket is an important one in my mind. Again, like I said, it's something that I've been planning for quite a while. And the advantages will be that I'll be able to offer much more customization, many more different materials, exotic and otherwise, and a much wider variety of price points for various, tastes and means and likes for my collectors and for my customers all over the world. I don't know if you can see what's going on here with this texture on the surface, but as I flatten out the ridges with faceted areas, shiny faceted areas, it gives kind of a cool, reflective surface that once it's plated, those areas should stand out really well, and it'll give me some really nice backdrop for aesthetic details in these last versions of the Gen 3.0 legacy. So this is not finished, but it's close. I've got to do this, remember, to every single one of these handles. And like I say, I started out needing to do about 65 of them. These are solid brass, and they are going to become plated. with either 24 karat gold for some of them, and the rest in genuine rhodium plating. And they'll be at a higher price point, and they'll be combined with slider heads and slider tubes and different magnet configurations that do the materials justice. And anyway, so I don't know if you can see these facets very well, the way they sort of glitter and reflect the light. But the hope is that once they're plated with these higher end coatings, that feature of them will be quite elegant, very attractive, and it also has a really nice textural feel to it that's different from the non-flattened ridges. Anyway, so that's a little bit of an explanation of the craziness here with the smashing of these handles. And of course you can see that I'm doing it around a solid stainless steel metal form so that it doesn't misshape the inside of the handle, because that's where the magnetic, the ferric attractor apparatus, the flared handle sleeve needs to be inserted, is inside the bore of each handle. So now I've basically finished with the sides here, and now I've got to start working the ends to give it the same sort of smashed, kneaded, pummeled look to the ends. But the trick here, when I'm working on this, I can't hit this too hard. You know, brass is a soft metal, and I don't want this bevel to collapse and flatten out, because I need that room when I go to fit the flared handle sleeve, or the handle sleeve that will get flared, inside the handle bore. That sleeve is the brass sleeve that holds the handle functioning apparatus. You know, the part that attracts the magnet that will be in the slider tube, no matter which configuration of Thinket you have. See, so the ends there get a little bit of this look to it also, then you want to go around and chase it a little bit more. And now when I'm doing this, since I'm doing this on a very solid timber, this is a Douglas fir timber from someone who had to unfortunately take down a very large Douglas fir next to his house that was about to start pulling up the foundation, and then he milled the entire tree, and when I contacted him, he said he would be able to cut. I have two of these platforms. They're basically wooden anvils. Eventually I'm going to cover this over with a slick surface, some sort of polymer that will be removable. It won't, it will be smoother. But right now, and the surface of this is going to be pocketed with various recesses to hold other things that I'm working on, like coins, you know, to be able to set a Thinket handle with a core support down inside of it so it won't roll around. I'll be working on coins and other sorts of things that I'll be stamping and carving and that sort of thing. But for right now, I'm just working right off the surface, and every once in a while I put a vise up here to hold a piece, to hold a metal object in place. Okay, so this one's coming along. Usually they don't take this long, or anywhere near this long, but I'm sort of dragging it out for effect, and I want you guys to see what I'm doing and what the end effect will be, or at least the interim effect. This is, and again, like I say, I've got to be very careful not to flatten out that bevel, because you need a good bit of room there in the bevel to, the height of it, to accept the flared end of the brass sleeve apparatus that goes inside the handle bore. Well, this one's just about done. I just want to finish up this end here, get a little bit more chasing, then we'll be done. I'll go on to the next one. I've got about, it looks like 38 more to go of these little babies. And again, like I said, they don't usually take this long. Sort of dragging this one out so that I can talk about it and stop and point some things out and that sort of thing. But and in case you're wondering, most of the time I don't hit my fingers. This is all pretty new to me in a lot of ways. Not just this peening effect, but doing cold metal work on metal. Like I don't do welding. I don't have a machine shop. I make a lot of things by hand. You know, chest-made pocket and travel chest sets. I make the Thinkets. I'm going to be adding a little key fob that I started making about a year or so ago. That's a kind of custom stamped and copper plated, and it can be heat patina treated to bring out colors. I also have a snap top that can also act as a little top die, you know, a dice basically. It spins, and then it's got a tip that settles into, you know, the 6-number dice roll kind of thing. And I've got some other things I'm going to be adding, including some artwork I've been working on that involves metals and woods and plastics and paint and resin, all, you know, and found objects and components, all sorts of stuff. Anyway, this is the longest one so far that it's taken, but you can see the effect, and when that gets plated, it should be pretty cool. Of course, it'll need to be thoroughly cleaned, because some of the little recesses here, you know, residue from the wood settles in there sometimes. But that will clean out really easily. I'll bronze wool the ends of it. That's mostly where that residue settles, was toward the ends of the handle here. Not so much in the middle, because there's a dip, as you can see. So there's no pressure directly against the wood, except out on the ends, for the most part. Anyway, that's what I wanted to show you for now. I'll keep you posted on how these are going. Like I say, I've got, looks like 38 more of these suckers to do, and then I'm going to be getting ready to send them off, along with some hand-stamped aluminum handles and a bunch of slider heads. These are all going to be getting 24 karat gold plated finishes and genuine rhodium plated finishes. So thanks for watching. I know it's a long video, but thanks for sticking with me to the end about this Think It Now handle hammer-peening. That'll be the title, the Think It Now handle hammer-peening. That's hard to say. Try to say that 5 times fast. Anyway, thanks for watching, and ciao for now.